What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host Vernon. This is St. Norberts Provincial Park. Let's fish that. Alright, ladies and gents, last week we went to the north of Winnipeg. We went to Lockport for some fishing on the Red River. This week we're going to the south of Winnipeg, just south of St. Norbert. You'll find St. Norberts Provincial Heritage Park. Lovely park to explore, seeing some deer, going on a hike. But we are here today to fish in the Red River once again. Now, being new to the area, there are a lot of things about the river I don't know, and exploring these different spots is a great way to find out where to find fish. So let's have a look what we're doing out there today. Alright, ladies and gents, we are again going to be fishing the Red River today, but because we don't know where the good spots are, we are looking for specific spots. Normally you would look for something like a bridge. That would be a good place to find fish, or another good spot would be where you have another river or creek running in. That is why we picked St. Norberts Park, because we have the Salle River running into the Red River in this particular spot, thinking that this might be a place where some fish will be feeding. Now, because we never fished here before, we have no idea where to find the fish or where any deep spots would be. So the general idea is going to be, we have a rod out there, the wife is going to be manning this rod, we're soaking some baits, see if there's any fish willing to go for that. And we'll also be casting around some lures and some jigs, trying to see if we can find where in the water these fish are hiding, see if we can get on any fish. So that's the plan for today. Let's get some baits out, see if we get any fish out there. Alright, the wife is on a fish. You could see the little taps happening. No idea what it is. Of course, we're using some night crawlers out there. I already missed one fish this morning, so happy to finally get on something at least.
I wonder if it could be a channel cat maybe.
Looks to be a decent fish. Haven't seen him yet. We're just seeing the little swirls on the water out there.
Ooh.
It does indeed look to be a little channel cat, or maybe not a little one. Just
might be my PB.
Might be. Just want to get a net ready for that.
Ooh.
This fish is putting up a decent fight. Should be a good fish. I think he knows he's hooked now, yeah. Starting to run a bit.
If he didn't know before, he definitely knows it now.
It's a decent channel catfish. Definitely going to be a PB for the wife.
Yep.
Now we are using 15-pound test line, so it should be fine to handle this catfish. Leave him be a bit. We're going to let him tire out a little bit so we can try and land him. But this is what the Red River is known for. Big catfish. Of course, there are something like 57 different species of fish in the Red River, but the big channel catfish, that's what this river is most known for. We're just going to take our time with this fish rather than trying to horse him in too much. We don't want any of the hooks to come out. always keeping pressure on. Of course, we're using barbless hooks.
You think we'll be able to get him in the net?
I think this one will be too big for our net. So rather going to use some lip grippers, try and get him in his lip. Looks like he's tiring out a little bit. Still might have a couple of runs in him. Lots of power in these fish. And we don't have our catfish gear. We're using some lighter rods, but we're using little ugly stick GX2. That's something that should be able to handle a fish like this.
Seems like he didn't even take himself. He's resisting.
Alright, so nice big chunky catfish. Definitely going to be the wife's BB.
Oh, wow.
So this is going to be a 6.9 kilogram. That is a 15-pound catfish. So definitely the wife's new PB. Her biggest catfish so far. Probably her biggest fish so far as well.
Probably.
So nice, decent channel catfish.
Massive head.
Now the reason they grow this big in this river is because people tend to release them. So of course we're going to do the same.
Yep.
Just going to get him back into the water and revive him a bit just to make sure he swims off by himself. Alright, so we're going to release this fish, get him back into the water and make sure he swims off by himself. Nice bulky head on him. A few good kicks and he's off.
Woo!
Good fish. That's the reason why we thought of this particular spot where you have the two rivers running together. It's a typical place of where you'll find fish sitting, waiting for some food to wash their way. Alright, ladies and gents, wife is busy throwing around a little lure on that side. So I started manning this pole. We suddenly got a hit on it. Feels nice and decent, so maybe another channel catfish. We've been seeing all sorts of fish jumping around. So using the nitro lures, it can still be anything. But the amount of head shakes I'm feeling on this rod might be another channel cat. So once again, we're not going to force this fish in. Going to take our time with him. Want to see if I can get in a higher spot so maybe we can see the fish when it comes to the surface. Weird that he hasn't come to the surface yet. But I think he finally knows he's hooked. Going for a run. Once again we can see the wake in the water every time the fish kicks his tail. And indeed, looks to be another channel catfish. Of course, it can always be the same one, but hooking the same fish this rapidly in succession, probably not.
Similar size?
Looks to be similar size, but again, haven't seen the fish that well yet. Now, of course, there are a lot of fish in these waters that will go for night crawlers, something like buffalo or even the drum. But happy that both the wife and I managed to get some channel catfish here from the Red River. Now, my biggest channel catfish thus far is 7 pounds. By the looks of this one, should be my new PB as well. See if this fish is tired and willing to come in. He's not going to give up that easy. See if we can turn his head around.
Oh, nice long one.
There we are, another channel catfish landed. Quickly gonna weigh him. So this is a 5.9 kilogram. That's a 13-pound channel catfish. So slightly smaller than the wife's catfish, but my new PB for catfish. Alright, so slightly smaller than the wife's catfish. Not a big problem. I'm gonna have lots of chances to catch some more catfish. But happy for both of us to get on some fish today. But we've had this fish out of the water for long enough. Let's get him back to the water. And back in the water, off he goes, back to find some new food. Alright, ladies and gents, that's a day of fishing where we cannot complain. Both me and the wife got on our new PBs for channel catfish. And to be honest, I was expecting we're going to be getting some rock bass or maybe some white bass. Was not expecting channel catfish. But maybe it's just the time of the year, or maybe it is because this particular spot has a lot of muddy banks, not a lot of rocks and places for fish to hide, just a lot of muddy banks. Maybe that's why only the channel catfish are out there. That I do not know. It's going to take a lot more fishing sessions to figure that out. But for now, cannot complain about catching some good fish out there. And because of those good fish, I'm going to ask you to please do give us a little thumbs up for catching our new PBs out there. Feel free to ask any questions down below in the comments. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, consider doing so, hitting the big red subscribe button. Alright guys, but thanks for following us on this trip. And like always, see you next time.